I'm doing the intro. I wasn't prepared to do the intro, but you want me to do the intro, so I guess I'll do the intro. All right. Welcome back to another episode of Power Bourbon. This is following up TJ's top 5 under $50. Mm-hmm. And I was tasked with the top 5 under $100. My only complaint was that you capped it at 100. I know. That leaves out Bardstown. There's so many good bourbons that you guys you're not even letting me put in this list.
Well, so to be fair, the reason we're doing it under 100 is YouTube algorithm. Like number one search thing is under $100, so I can put that in there. Adjusted for inflation, it'll probably be under 150.
Yeah, there you go. Adjusted for inflation, under 150. Yeah, a year ago, this list would have been under 50. No, just kidding. Yeah. Okay, so under $100 and obtainable, mostly obtainable.
Mm-hmm.
Should be obtainable. So I tried to things that are super rare releases that nobody gets, that you just see on the one guy posting on the Facebook group that gets everything because he follows the delivery truck or just has a friend at the liquor store. Who wants that list, right? Although you might say a couple of these or that. But I tried to make it mostly available. But let's be honest, between 50 and 100, you start to get into rarer bourbons. That's what it is.
And to be fair, I will vouch for Chuck. He does have a full-time job. He is way busier than I am. He does not have time to chase trucks. However, he does have enough money. He could probably pay somebody to chase trucks for him. However, I know he does not do that.
The only thing that I pay for that chases trucks is my dog. Not necessarily in order of greatness. So this is just a list of 5. Is Bellamide Reserve. So my caveat here, this is really just representative of MGP barrel strength. So you could put a Remus single barrel strength in here. You could put Smoke Wagon, uncut, unfiltered in here. Personally, my go-to lately has been this Bellamide. So I personally have found this is almost replaced or has replaced 1920 as my daily drinker, so to speak. Prefer this in this taste profile. Classic MGP, sweet, but still spicy. Just a delicious classic bourbon.
Great choice. You got to have an MGP.
Speaking of things that you have to have, a Maker's product. So we're big fans of Maker's Mark limited releases on this channel, going all the way back to R2D2, or I guess they call it SE4 PR5.
RC6 was before that.
RC6. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, historian TJ. This was FAO2. But, so for limited releases, these are generally pretty available. But even if you can't find these, you can find a store pick usually. And the store picks are still fantastic. They're a blend of their stave profiles. And each obviously is unique. And a lot of stores will do a series and they'll have several. But check out one of them. For the value, maybe second to only one other in this list.
Yep.
So Maker's limited release or store pick.
I'm just surprised how high up the level on your Maker's Mark FAO2 is.
And I think I said, no, I have a backup FEO1. I don't have a backup FEO2.
I say my FAO2 is below the label.
That's because you sent us a sample, I think.
And I
just drink
yours.
Drink
it all the time. It's delicious. Yeah, the Maker's Mark wood finish series, if you see one, buy it. No matter where you are, it sits on the shelf. People forget about it. It will disappear, but when it's available, it is one of the best values in bourbon. End of story.
Yeah, and last year FEO1 had this weird, it was there early in the year, and then it, in my area, it came back 4 months later. It was available again. So always be on the lookout. Really, Don't be discouraged if you don't find it initially. Sometimes these liquor distributors have odd distribution times, so keep looking.
Yep.
All right. Next one. Following up a little bit, I mean, major distillery here. I think of the Jim Beam releases, you got to have a Booker's on the shelf. And so they're a little bit limited, of course. There's generally, but there's generally 4 releases per year. And so you could probably find at least one of them, or somebody could find at least one of them.
Yeah.
Maybe if you can't find this, my other 2 Knob Creek products, other than TJ had, the Knob store pick, the 120 proof 9-year. He says supposedly you can find greater than 15 years or something. That's baloney. But if not this, I still think the Knob 15 or Knob 12, which are above 50, in that window of $50 to $100, would also be my next go-to Knob or Jim Beam products. So either a Booker's or a Knob 15, Knob 12.
Yeah, and you can find Knob 12 cast strength, which is amazing. And the caveat with the Bookers is all 4 Bookers are very, very different. So Bookers usually hits the shelf for like a period of 2, maybe 3 months. And most of us on Whiskey Tube get our reviews up as quick as possible. You might wait and find a YouTuber that you really trust, let them review it and really recommend it before you buy it, because they are very, very different. And we don't want you to spend the nowadays $75 to $100 on a Booker's and not enjoy it. So keep a lookout.
All right, moving on. My next one in the list of 5 here, number 4. It's got to be in this list. Literally, If you're talking about a bourbon in $50 to $100, this is generally my go-to. People ask, hey, I'm looking to spend somewhere between $75 and $100 for a gift, or I'm looking to spend $75 to $100 for a bottle of bourbon. This is my recommendation, and this is Barrel. So the Barrel bourbon, this particular is batch 29. But honestly, you can't go wrong with any of the batches. So, we're on batch 31, so 32 should be coming out probably soon. Maybe it's already out. You can't go wrong. Great distilleries that go into this, and they are master blenders. And for the value at $80, consistent, I think this is probably my best in the lineup that as far as availability. And I know, it's not available in all of the country, but where it is available, like it just sits on shelves. And Barrel also has other products as well. So they do some of their private releases, which are blends, but blends in a smaller batch for specific retailers. So those are excellent as well. Barrel Seagrass. So if you want to go rye that's finished, you can go that direction. Although this list is supposed to be bourbon, so I'm not supposed to say that. But Barrel bourbon, that's definitely deserving in the $50 to $100 range. I don't know, maybe I'm up to like 15 or 20 at this point.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You got to put Barrel in there because they just do everything. I don't care who you are, what you want, anything like that. You can find them. If you like rum, they do rum. If you like bourbon, they do bourbon. If you like whiskey, they do whiskey. If you like finished bourbon, they do that. If you like finished rye, they do that. If you like just rye, they do that. Like you cannot be somebody who legitimately likes bourbon, rye, or whiskey and not have a Barrel product. End of story.
Agreed. Especially if you're willing to spend $80.
Yep.
All right. Well, my last one, like no list could be complete without this. We all chase it. Or we used to chase it. We all want to chase it. It's a collector's item. Better than like a Babe Ruth rookie card.
Get out of here. Go home.
Did you freeze? Did you freeze there, TJ?
Go home.
I couldn't tell.
Go home.
Blends. The little horsey on top.
Absolutely
the single barrel. The original single barrel.
I want Brian back. Go home.
I'm just kidding. I'm just messing with you. Are you kidding me? This is the best value in bourbon. Any list above, this is it. It's Elijah Craig barrel proof. I know what some of you are going to say, like it's not available. That might be true a little bit, although they've started, like retailers are picking up this year, the private release, the single barrels. Like this is actually one from Benny's here in Illinois. And it's awesome. Like,
Yeah.
and of course, all the batches, I know last year took a little bit of a step back, in our opinion, compared to the 2020, which were just amazing, especially batch B and batch C. But honestly, for the price, consistently, Elijah Craig Barrel Proof is absolutely the best value in bourbon. Generally, anywhere from $55, $75. We would pay probably over 85 if you can find it. Above 90, I start to question that a little bit.
Yeah.
If you don't have it on the shelf, I'm not going to fault you paying more than that. But above 100, don't do it.
Yeah, don't break 100. But for an Elijah Craig Barrel Proof, if you don't have one, $80 is totally reasonable.
Yeah.
If you're trying to collect them all, I mean, good luck, because they keep raising the prices because they know what they have is special.
It's really good. 12-year barrel strength. It's fantastic.
Yeah. I mean, the general rule is $10 per year. So 12 years, like legitimately you're saying $120, and they've always priced it lower than that. So
I mean, consistently, let's look at, Bardstown Discovery Series, which I love. I buy every single one of them. I mean, Elijah Craig Barrel Proof's going to beat all of them, but maybe one.
Yeah. No, I think it's a good list. I think you hit everything, just like my list, across the board. If you get these, you're going to be very, very happy with the price range. Maybe you have a set price, like you want to start your collection. You don't want to spend over that. You get a couple of Chuck's lists, you get a couple of my list. But if you had all 10, you got one heck of a bar to start entertaining guests. I'm just going to say that. So
that might be all you need.
Yeah. And then you slowly drink and you get addicted, and you just keep buying, and you make a YouTube channel and you say it's for the channel for your wife. So that way you don't get in trouble.
This is a monologue. This is a sad monologue, TJ.
Yep. So without further ado, thanks for watching. Please hit that subscribe button so my wife doesn't beat me. And we'll see you next week. Cheers.
Stay neat.
Power of bourbon. We miss Brian.